All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, following last Thursday night's 34-17 beatdown at the hands of the Green Bay Packers, the San Francisco 49ers now find themselves with a record of 4-5. The Niners have now lost 2 of their last 3 contests, and in the process, it has really diminished their chances of making the playoffs. You look at the 49ers this season, and it's all about the injury bug. That's the thing that has really gotten them. You look at like some of the big names on their roster that have missed time or are either out for the season. Quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, tight end George Kittle, running back Tevin Coleman, defensive end Nick Bosa, defensive end Dee Ford, running back Raheem Mostert, Solomon Thomas on the defensive line, and offensive tackle Trent Williams. Now, it's going to be tougher for the 49ers this season to make the playoffs as opposed to last season, due to the fact that the NFC least is going to take a playoff bid away from somebody. Of course, we know right now that the Philadelphia Eagles are currently leading this division just with a record of 3-5-1. Nobody else in that division has more than 2 wins, but you know, automatically, if you win your division, you're in the postseason. It also is hurting the 49ers this season that every other team in their division currently has a winning record. Now, what helped the 49ers yesterday was that both the Seattle Seahawks and Arizona Cardinals lost, while the Los Angeles Rams had a bye. So Los Angeles really came out of this week smelling like a rose in the NFC West. But you're looking at it right now, if the playoffs were to begin today, the Niners would be 9th in the NFC, and of course, they would be looking at the playoffs from home just like you and I. Now, they are 1 game back in the win column behind the Rams, and the Rams are currently tied with the Cardinals for the last spot. Actually, the Cardinals get the go-ahead, so they'd be the 6th spot, while the Rams would have the 7th. But then the 49ers also would have to leapfrog the Chicago Bears to get up there where the Rams are. And you look at it this year, I knew this season was going to be tougher for the 49ers and their head coach, Kyle Shanahan, and their general manager, John Lynch, as opposed to last season. San Francisco went 13-3 last year en route to winning the NFC title. But it was a situation for the 49ers. They flew under the radar for most of the season because nobody expected a lot from them. They had an easy schedule to begin the season, and make no mistake about it, they did what they were supposed to do. They beat the teams that they were supposed to beat. And before you knew it, they were 8-0. San Francisco also did not have to deal with the injury bug last year like they are doing now. So they basically were able to keep the same team rolling out there this season. Now, you knew this season, regardless of the fact that the 49ers did not win the Super Bowl last year, but the fact that they got to the Super Bowl, a lot of people wanted to use a meeting with them as a litmus test. We saw that in week number 1, where the Cardinals went to San Fran and knocked them off. They've had some very tough losses this year. A home loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. They got blown out by the Miami Dolphins. And then, of course, the last 2 losses at Seattle in week number 8. And then, of course, this past Thursday night in week number 9. It's going to be tougher for the 49ers to get back into the postseason because you look at their remaining slate of games. This Sunday, they are traveling to take on the New Orleans Saints, who are currently leading the NFC South. They're rolling right now. Of course, we saw what they did to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night. The Niners will have their bye in week 11, but you're looking at a week 12 matchup at the Rams before they host Buffalo in week number 13 on Monday night. The only real cupcakes that the 49ers have left in their schedule, they host Washington in week 14, and then they're at Dallas in week number 17. So you're looking at it right now, along with the injuries that this team has had to deal with all season long, it is going to be super tough for San Francisco to get back to the postseason. They're 4-5, and at this point, if San Francisco would find a way to finish with a record of 8-8, I would be highly surprised. And the way that things are going right now in the NFC, I don't see 8-8 getting them a wild card spot for the postseason. So it's a situation. The Niners have a litany of injuries at this point. if you're Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, you got to think towards the future and start thinking towards 2021. Evaluate the healthy guys, evaluate the younger guys on your roster. Look to build depth. Start get in tune with your scouts. See what's going on the college football level. See who you can add to this team in the draft next spring. Also look at free agency. And I mean, is it time for the 49ers to move on from Jimmy G at quarterback? We'll have to see. I mean, he got that big deal, $137.5 million from San Francisco several years ago, but that contract was really front-loaded. So it's a situation, if the 49ers walk away from him now, it really would not hurt them. So it's a lot on the table for San Fran right now to see what they're going to do heading into the offseason. I would not be surprised that they take this time to use this as a jump start to get ahead to looking towards 2021, because I really simply don't see it happening right now. The injuries really never allowed this team to gel in a fashion like they did in 2019, and they've had to take a step back, and I think it might be time for them to take another step back just to look towards the future and see what they can do to build this team back up for 2021. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to thank all of the fans and subscribers out there. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this page. Also, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.